Hi clarinet friends, Lee Seidner here talking about Clarinet Fundamentals, and the fundamental we're going to be talking about today is actually the Altissimo register of the clarinet. Now the Altissimo register tends to have a really bad rap with the clarinet. Everybody else in the band room is complaining about how shrill it is, how high it is, how aggressive it is. And it's something that I feel like we get really intimidated by as clarinet players and we tend to shy away from. So today we're going to get rid of all of that intimidation and we're just going to own this register by getting to know it in the best way that we can and really feeling ready to just embrace this register as our favorite in the clarinet. Now, I think immediately the scary part about the Altissimo register is that the fingerings seem really random and disjunct from everything else that we play on the clarinet. But they're actually a little bit more connected than you think that they are. Just like the chalumeau register down at the bottom connects to the clarion register with the register key that we have in the back, the clarion register actually also connects to the Altissimo with a second register key, right? The second register key in this case is actually the first index finger of the left hand. So if we start by playing a chalumeau A and we add our first register key, then we'll go to an E in the clarion. If we add the second register key by opening up that first finger, we're going to get C sharp, and it would sound a little like this. Nothing in the embouchure changes. We just keep the air moving, we open the first register key, we open the second register key, and it all just happens for us. We don't shy away from the notes, we just embrace them, we let the air go through, and it does the work for you. This process can also be used for B flat to F to D, B natural to F sharp to E flat, which we're going to use the sliver fingerings for all of those so that the D sharp / E flat at the top is very clear and open. And then we can also do it for C, G, and E, C sharp, G sharp, F, and lastly, D, A, and F sharp. If you're trying these exercises and you're trying to get up to this Altissimo register and for whatever reason it is grunting, it doesn't seem like it's going quite high enough, there are a few things that we can do to fix this problem. The first thing you're going to want to check is that the air is staying strong and consistent. If you start backing off on the air, then the Altissimo register is not going to be supported enough to speak clearly. The second thing you'll want to think about is the voicing or your tongue position that's happening in the clarinet. If you're getting this grunt, think about the E vowel sound as you're playing. The E vowel sound will help bring the tongue position a little bit higher, and it should stay that way throughout all the registers of the clarinet. And that is the biggest takeaway from this video. Nothing when playing the Altissimo changes from when we are playing the rest of the clarinet. The voicing stays the same, our embouchure stays the same, our air stays the same. Everything is consistent and maintained from all of the strong fundamentals that we've been developing. It's completely consistent the entire way through. Don't try and force this register to happen. If you are overblowing and what sounds like a squeak is happening when you go to the Altissimo, just the opposite of what I just said is happening. Our tongue position might be too high, so think about that E vowel to bring it a little bit lower than where it might be. You also could be trying to manipulate or force the Altissimo to happen by adding too much pressure onto the reed. Now the cool thing about you squeaking is that it's actually not a mistake. The squeak, really we shouldn't call a squeak because you're overblowing to the next partial. You're just going higher than you need to go. Now, just like the reed can influence intonation, it can also influence your ability to get into the Altissimo register of the clarinet. If your reed is too hard, you might have a really hard time getting to the Altissimo and having it reach all the way up there. It might grunt or stay low because you're having to fight the reed. If you are able to hit it and your reed is too hard, it's going to be really muffled, really stuffy, and extremely sharp in pitch. If your reed is opposite and it's too soft, The Altissimo is actually going to speak quite clear for you, but it's going to be extremely flat in pitch, and it's going to sound really thin and frail. Now, overall, when you're trying to get better at the Altissimo, the best advice that I have for you is to just do it. Don't be afraid of anyone listening while you're practicing. Don't be afraid of what anybody is saying when you're trying to develop this, because it is a trial and error. You are maybe not going to sound the prettiest you've ever sounded when you're first trying to play this register of the clarinet and get comfortable with it, and that's okay. You just learn, you listen, and you adapt to make sure that you can really embrace this register for how beautiful it truly can be. So hopefully this video helps guide you on your journey to developing the Altissimo register and can help influence how you're practicing and how you're approaching this register to make it as beautiful as it can be. Happy practicing!